but it is trying to go live.
What were you
And I
saying,
think,
Cindy?
That's TK on her
I
dial-up.
realize as I'm drinking this Ghost cup that it's not a
wait,
Talk Miami
ghost.
mug.
Right.
Ooh,
Wait,
Look,
was
this
that
clear.
yes.
shade?
Ooh, ooh.
I
You
feel
Wait a
all
like
minute.
right, Ghost
I think
You
Cup?
I
didn't
need to
catch
put.
that shade. You didn't catch that shade,
I
friend.
mean, I feel like
Mm.
everyone should
Yes, I
be.
did.
We should be
Because where's our
sync.
mugs, Shonda?
I
Where's
Well,
mean,
the
how
mug,
about
Dr. Shonda?
see what had happened was
Mm-hmm.
I
So, mm-hmm.
and good evening and welcome to Talk Miami. Hello everyone. Thanks you all. Let me slow down. I'm too excited to be on tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. I am the Dr. Shonda Roberts.
No, because Cindy, she thinks she's slick. She trying to get off
Wait,
the subject. Look at Cindy face. Look at Cindy face. Exactly. Look at Diva B. Give her the fan.
so
Thank you.
we're going to keep going because I don't even know what y'all talking about. So I am the Dr. Shonda Roberts. I am here to talk Miami, and next I will point to the S starter over here, Miss Ma'am in the red. Can you tell people who you are, please?
Well, since I don't
Okay, well,
have my
no.
we both got on red. We both divas. Now wait a minute, give us a third one. Because we both got on red. We both divas. Give us a third
The one
adjective,
without
please.
the hat.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm up in a minute. Okay. I'm just gonna be a gold digger since I don't have my mug, because I'm gonna be petty right now. Because somebody was supposed to send us a mug, but that's okay. Product placement. But hi everyone, good evening. I am TK Owens in the place to be. And I'm gonna be petty again and bring up my gold digger mug because I don't have my Talk Miami one that Dr. Shonda was supposed to make us. One more time. But I'm gonna pass it below to the man in the red hat. Yes, fan.
Yes, honey, welcome. It's Diva B hair flip. So yes, honey, I got on a red hat because I'm feeling a lot of love this evening for my new man. That one, somewhere.
Wait.
Anyways, so yes, that means we are on week 5, and I have a new boyfriend, and his name is boyfriend number 5.
All right,
And I'm gonna
boyfriend.
pass it over to that.
hey everybody, it's Cindy Winters, and now I have tried to create these faces so it didn't look like my screen was frozen, but my screen is totally frozen right now. And I'm really excited to be here. I even did my hair in my little 90s balls, but nonetheless, I'm still frozen as hell.
It's back.
I'm really excited to be here on Talk Miami. So let's talk Miami. We have a lot to cover today.
Oh goodness! Why are we doing this tonight, y'all?
And it
This
just
is
started.
too funny.
People get to see the raw and uncut version of this.
We're just gonna go with the flow tonight. Thank you all for being here. How was your weekend, everyone? Real quick.
It's great.
It was great.
Busy.
I had a great weekend too.
It was great and just really busy, but
yeah. But you're always busy. But that's okay. Busy means you're staying out of trouble.
But for the first time, I got out. Like during this whole pandemic, we were like locked up. But this was the first time me and the hubby went out on a date night, and then I had my college class reunion. It was just like one thing after another. So, but it was great stuff.
I can remember what I did this weekend. My brain goes from one to the next. I don't know what I did this weekend. But I did.
You was out with George. I saw you with George. Y'all went somewhere.
Girl, I'm always out with George, honey. I'm always
this is ridiculous.
Out with George.
How rude.
Hanging out.
Yeah,
look at her.
Rude.
Look at her. You look,
rubbing that in our faces.
I want y'all to take a glimpse at this Talk Miami custom-made cup. Wait, because
by who?
By the Dr. Shonda Roberts. And my co-host
$9.99 in our gift store.
Our coals are a little bit salty because I didn't make them one, but they know I got them. I just didn't make it yet.
Salty,
But I
honey,
will.
only
Do we
sweet.
know?
But my husband brought it to me empty. I'm
Oh,
just saying. If he's
That's not
listening, I'm a little parched.
Gigi, we
But
need a
tonight-
drink.
Gigi ain't even here. She hanging out with her friends.
Ooh, you lost tonight. Gigi ain't there.
And George ain't make you a drink. Well,
I'm
What?
slipping. Like, what is going on?
somebody gonna go thirsty.
So we have some. So quickly, we're gonna get the serious stuff out the way so we can act up as we do. But I want to introduce two lovely queens tonight. They are divas doing their thing, but they're also realtors, and they are going to talk to us about home buying and what we should know, and if you already purchased a home, what information you should know. So I want to first introduce Miss Kay Has the Key. Hey, Kay.
Hey.
Thank
Hey,
you for joining us.
Y'all be acting up and I just
Hey,
love
Kay.
it. Hey.
And also next we have Miss Sandrell. How y'all doing? Sandrell, you're on mute, my love.
Uh-oh.
She's like, I'm good, but I can't hear you. Now she's turned the camera off. It's okay, honey.
Uh-oh.
Like I'm gone.
She gonna come back. It's okay. She'll come back. So we'll start with Kay. Well, Kay, introduce yourself. Let people know about you, what you do, how long you. Oh, Sandrell, you back?
Yeah, I'm
No.
back.
She's
Sorry.
Okay, there you go.
Here I am.
Kay, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kayla, but I'm better known as Kay. My real name is Arkayla, and I am a part-time real estate agent with eXp Realty, and I'm a part of a group called The Core, and it's 4 of us, very small team, but I got licensed back in December of 2019, and it didn't go so well. Miss Sandrell and I were talking about it, but I joined a new brokerage, eXp, and I had the right guidance and a good mentor, and I was able to take off because I'm not a stranger to hard work, and we'll get into encouraging people later, but it's been a blessing in my life. And I'm also a new homeowner, so I can't wait to tell people.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes,
Tell
Kay
people
got
more
the
about
key.
the benefits.
Kay got more than the key. She got the key to the house, too.
Yes.
That part.
Congratulations on your new home and everything else. That's right.
Oh, that is so cute.
And
Very
also, Miss Kay has hired me to make a sign for her walls. I'm working on that as well for her.
See, that's the temporary, but it's coming.
We better get our mugs first. Just
I
saying.
got you.
You see, we in line. We got to get in line just to get a product.
I'll wait in line. It's okay.
Okay, go, Miss Sandrell. Go ahead and let people know who you are. I know you, but they don't.
Okay, so I'm Sandrell Apatera. I'm with Florida Capital Realty. I've been in real estate 6 years, selling real estate 6 years. I was in real estate 5 years prior to that, so a total of 11 years. I absolutely love real estate. I don't want to do anything else ever in life. I think that it's very powerful to to be able to control or have an influence on where people find their home, and make their investment in generational wealth.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
I wanted to ask Kay real quick. I know you mentioned that something about becoming a realtor. What happened in the beginning? What's the hardest part about passing the test or wanting to be a realtor? I know this is not what we talked about, but I heard you mention this. I want to just because I know people who want to do that.
Yes. It's interesting that you asked that just because I had people tell me, listen, you're such a people person, go get your license. Never thought about it. Then I had a big dip change in my life and I'm like, I need to make some cash. And I'm a bookworm. So I looked it up, paid the money. I passed the class. Then the next day I took the state pass, joined the brokerage. I was hyped, but all brokerages are not created equal. And I had a brokerage that, you'll sign up, you pay the fee, but they don't sit with you and explain things. I'm the type of person, I'm visual. So you can tell me to watch a video, but I need to put it to use. I need to actually touch it and do it. And I didn't have that guidance. So I was discouraged at one point. I'm like, okay, real estate is not for me. I give up. Spoke to one of my realtor friends. She was like, that is not what you're about to do. This is something you can use for the rest of your life to make money. If you know family members who are selling, buying, that's just money in your pocket. And so that motivated me. And then I actually joined with her a few months later, and it's been the best decision of my life. So I've had people reach out to me like, hey, what's the process? I want to get my real estate license. I refer like 20 people because they see my journey and they know what I've been through. And they're like, you can do it. And I want people to know that they can do it too. So,
well, that's awesome. Congratulations
awesome.
again. Sandrell, you got anything to add to that regarding the process of what you went through?
Well, I mean, it was a pretty seamless journey for me to actually become an agent. It was more mental. I didn't want to become an agent. I felt like with my temperament, like I'm not the type of person that loves to be looking at, I watched HGTV just like everybody else. And, I thought it was all about, look at these floors, look at this kitchen, and that's not my temperament. I'm more like, okay, you want this house or not? That wasn't my mentality. But I was working in real estate and I was working in foreclosures. So I actually got drawn in watching people's journey fall apart. And, I started to see that it was so many families that had, my heart would literally be broken. I would be seeing people have their little growth chart for their kids and, on their, and they have their little letters on their walls. And, you just see that it was really their home. And I'm like, well, what happened? How did how did this property end up being abandoned and, cycled back to the bank or to HUD? Like what happened? Right. So I was drawn into real estate from that. And it's been very eye-opening for me as far as just understanding more about my own community, where I come from, and people in general. I was a banker prior to that. So watching people's money is the best way to get to know somebody, to know their state of mind and where they come from. And I found the same thing in real estate. So that was
okay. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good.
Can I actually interject? I need to interject.
Oh, go ahead, boo.
Because it's really nice to hear from other realtors, because most of you don't know, I actually have a real estate license myself. However, I ended up, girl, I do everything. Okay.
Yes.
We
multi-talented on here, honey.
Yeah. But no, so I actually have my real estate license too, but I will say I didn't have a success story. So when Kay was saying how she first got in and then she wanted to get out, but a friend told her, we ain't about to do it like that. It's nice that other, people and other realtors have your back, because there is a shady side also to real estate. And it was my first real estate transaction that happened to be a shady one. And I was not about that life. I did what Sandrell did, was I wanted to get into the industry to help people buy a home, because a home is a big purchase. And I wanted to make people happy. And my first one was a shady dealing where another realtor wanted my client for the money. So she did some fishy crap. And I was like, you know what? Deuces, I'm out. I ain't doing it. And I've actually let my license just fall to the wayside, because I didn't want, I didn't get into real estate to screw people over. So I would like during the segment, if you two ladies would maybe share one of your experiences that you had that wasn't such a positive one too, because we can paint a pretty picture, but we all know that behind a pretty picture is a dull board,
Right.
So, well, thank you. That's it. That's all I had to say. Okay.
Well, we'll get to that. Thank you, DBB. We'll get to that because I want to hear. We like mess, so I want to hear that. But let's get to why they're on the show to help people. So let's get right into it. Homeownership, the American dream or the American nightmare. Who wants to take that one first? She gave it to you, Central.
Okay, that's fine. So, listen, the American dream or the American life, it's all my life, I've heard about owning a home and, all the goodness of it. But it wasn't until, again, I got into real estate from the back end and foreclosures that I saw the really, really ugly side. So I will say just up front that not everyone should be a homeowner, but it's so encouraged,
and that's okay. I want people to know it's okay that you're not a homeowner.
It is absolutely okay if you're not a homeowner, and people encourage you to do it so much. If you just happen to think I want to buy a house, all of a sudden you're bombarded with all type of real estate ads and classes. Come to this class, and I've seen people have classes and they're giving away televisions and they have food and it looks like a real party, and it should be celebrated, but it's a huge responsibility. There's a lot of pitfalls. So there's a lot of danger that can come with that. Financial danger, emotional danger. I've seen people holding on to houses and they're in bad financial shape and bad situations. Their health changes. and they hold on to that house
Wow.
until the people almost come drag them out of it. You know, rather than understanding that it's an investment and it is okay to leverage that property, sell, and move on. So just as much as it can be celebrated and you can have a housewarming, those situations can fall apart really, really easily if you have a financial downfall, if your family changes, you know, a spouse gets sick or a spouse passes away or you break up. That can change really, really quickly, and it can be literally a nightmare.
Yes, it can. Miss K, you're on mute, babe.
Yeah, sorry. So I mean, I haven't been in real estate as long as Miss Sandrell, so I haven't experienced, thank goodness, so far. You know, hearing stories of that sort, but I do know right now we're in the middle of a pandemic, and there's a moratorium on people's rents, and people were able to file for forbearance, and it doesn't look like people are going to lose their houses, so that's great news. But I really like a lot of people are like, hey, it's a pandemic, help me get like some people are going to lose their houses, going to be foreclosures. I want to wait for that. I'm like, listen, right now, these are historically low interest rates. Like, people have built so much equity in their homes on the upside, you know, so they have more cash to leverage and do and make moves if they need to. So I'm seeing a very different side than what Miss Sandra has seen. And it looks like it's going to remain bright in real estate. But like she said, it can become what it can become, and you just have to know what to do and have the right people around you.
Have you seen a change in home buying or selling during the pandemic? Has it gotten worse? Has it gotten better? What has happened to the real estate market during this?
she had to drink on that.
Well, listen,
honey, that cup
that was my
trying to tell y'all that cup she drinking out of probably cost us some coins, honey, because right now the real estate market, you making coins, baby.
Yeah, it's a seller's market right now, right, Kay?
It's a seller's market. So now,
can you break that down for people? The difference between a seller's market and a buyer's market.
Right.
Well, I'm sure Miss Sandra can probably break it down even more, but just to be basic, a seller's market is when sellers, they have so much equity and they have so much that they can do with their property. Right now, sellers are selling their homes 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 grand over asking price because there is such a shortage in houses that can be bought right now that people are willing to fight and
pay whatever
Mayweather match for properties. You can see a property today and it's gone in 3 hours, and I've seen it.
Wow.
And people are offering way more. Like, I'm gonna offer you this today, 50 grand over. You can't deny me. So when there's a buyer that's qualified, good credit, long job history, but they didn't even have a chance. So right now it is very competitive for buyers, but I encourage all my buyers, we're gonna fight.
That's right.
Keep looking, and we're gonna negotiate as much as we can. But
even here in Fort Myers, right now in the development that I currently live in, which I'm not gonna give no names, but they don't even have homes. Like, there are people on wait lists here just to get into this community, and some of the homes in the community have sold for $125,000 to $150,000 over asking. It's insane. It's insane. And I actually work with a home builder, so we're actually in the same industry. But I work with a home builder, and
that is insane.
we can't even keep homes right now.
Wow.
The moment one comes on the market, it's like 20, 30 people are putting bids on that home. Yeah. And like you said, may the best man and woman win in that kind of environment.
So are they selling so much more over than what they're worth? Because when the people buy them, they're going to resell them for more as well? Or what's the purpose? I don't school someone who doesn't know that process. Sandrell?
So the reason that they're paying more is obviously because it's competition. There's very low inventory right now.
Okay.
So the sellers have the advantage. So, if you're the only one with, the good pair of shoes or, that valuable item, you can sell it for more. Now, it's not driving the actual prices of homes up. And that's what's different in this market versus like in 2008, right? Remember 2008, it was big. Everybody was buying property and things like that. The difference between this seller's market and that seller's market is the appraisers are still valuing the properties at what they would be worth. It's the buyers that are paying the difference. So the buyers are, so if the house is $350,000, that's what it's appraising for. That's what all the properties in the neighborhood are appraising for. But then there's this buyer that comes out of pocket and say, well, I'll give you $50,000 more. So that's $400,000. And in the market in 08, that would have drove all the houses up to $400,000, but that's not happening in this market. The houses are still at $350,000, but other sellers are saying, well, somebody came out of pocket cash and gave Johnson $50,000 more, so somebody over here better give me $50,000 more too. So it's, they're basically saying, I'm selling my house for highest and best, and like he said, may the best man or woman win.
Yeah.
Wow,
So that
is insane.
It is, but the thing is, interest rates are lower. So it doesn't hurt you to pay more for the house itself, because what you're gonna pay in interest on the loan is so much lower.
Okay.
So when you have a high interest rate, you could literally pay for that house 2.5 times what you bought it for. But if the interest rates are lower, you may pay for it maybe 1.5 times. To keep it simple. Without having to do the numbers. So it's cheaper to borrow money right now. And most people are borrowing money. And then when you get into a market like Miami or even in Fort Myers, Florida has very good retirement laws, right? So it's a safe haven. So people love to be here. So you have a lot of people, especially after what happened, with the pandemic, with the weather, people are getting the hell out of these cold states. They're tired of the cold. They're tired of dealing with it. So they say, let me go to Florida. They're selling their homes because they got an extra $50,000 in, New York or wherever they're from. So they can come to Florida and outbid people with $50,000 cash because they have the cash reserve from the sale of their property. People are working from home. So, I don't have to stay in, Kansas. I can move to Florida because I work from home now. So,
you're not in Kansas anymore.
Okay.
So yes, it has made the market even that much more competitive everywhere, really.
That is crazy. I'm sitting here listening and I'm like, listen, I need to do some things and change up what I'm doing over here, because all I hear is ching, 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 ching.
Yeah.
Look, Shonda she about to take on another job. She's Jamaican.
Please make their
She about to take on another job.
Just first.
Oh my God. Can I get you to finish one?
I'm not. I already got enough going on. But I'm just saying, if I get bored, I may have to think about it.
But there's nothing wrong with that side hustle. I do agree.
Right. And these days you need a side hustle around here because it's tight. But another thing I wanted to ask you about, because I know we've heard it. I've heard the term before and just never really understood what it meant or never paid attention to it. What does gentrification mean when it comes to real estate?
Well, in simple terms, gentrification has been described as when people or investors come into a community or neighborhood and they want to revamp it. That's what, and so they come into a community and they come out, and I'm sure you've seen it. You drive down the street and you see a house and you're like, that house don't belong over here. What's happening? Or this building is in the middle of what? And then they're charging $1,800 for one bedroom in the middle of, nobody could ever afford that. So then there's more developments being built of the same sort and eventually push out a certain type of other people that won't be able to afford it and can't, they can't otherwise live there unless you can buy. So that's just to break it down. And so it is a pretty sad thing, especially in our communities. Like Overtown, I just saw this very beautiful building, but I'm across the street. I'm like, I used to live in those projects when I was 6. Like, wait, what? I'm so confused.
Right.
So it's very sad because
it's pushing the people that's originally in the neighborhood out of the neighborhood.
Correct.
Okay. Wow.
That's my take on it. What do you think, Sandra?
So, I look at it sometimes.
Wait a minute. Can you let me answer questions, please? This is my show.
You right?
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make sure. That's me fact checking. Like,
I want to apologize in advance for her behavior. Don't call me after the show.
Okay.
That's what happens when she don't have her drink.
I do. That's what happens when I get the drink.
Listen, Shonda, don't make Kay has the key be our first lawsuit for Talk Miami.
Listen, don't reach out to, don't call me, Kay. Don't
Okay.
even do it. I
No,
don't know
she's
her.
my girl. I love her. She knows. I'm just joking with her. Go ahead, Sandra.
I'm used to it too. We all used to it.
I think the way she described it is a very good way to describe it. You know, it's basically when people who have more money come in and find, you know, make the neighborhood more valuable. So the people who live there, when the value is lower, they can't continue to afford to live there. But I kind of fight against that conversation, that narrative about gentrification sometimes, because if you take a community, let's just say a community like Overtown, you know, we know that Overtown was traditionally, you know, a Black community.
Right.
We
now
know that
Wynwood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we know that a lot of what changed Overtown was, you know, I-95 coming through Overtown, you know, and,
In the arena.
You know, yeah. And a lot of the families being, you know, pushed further north. So it really kind of broke up the community itself of Overtown. But the reason I push against the narrative of gentrification sometimes, because change has to come, right?
Right.
There's cycles to everything. And in real estate is no different. There has to be a cycle. Even when you look at the age of a building, you know, eventually those buildings are going to age enough that they have to be redone, you know, brought up to code and, you know, revamped. So I think gentrification sometimes is that cycle. People don't like how it happens, but I think it's a necessary thing. Like, how long can somewhere stay the hood? How long can you allow these buildings to sit empty and these homes to sit empty? So yes, gentrification is what she described it as, but sometimes I think it's necessary for growth, you know, for evolution. I think it's nothing can
and I get it
forever.
But why can't we just beautify those communities?
Right.
Like,
beautify
do we have
them,
to,
who's we though? Who is we?
Well, not us.
the county officials, people who write checks, them people.
They got money.
Exactly. Like, I was born and raised in the inner city, but I still love going back there. Like, don't bring the value so high that we're forced to move out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why can't we just put money back into our communities and beautify the homes?
But when you think of something like that, in all actuality, because of the natural cycle of things, a lot of people don't come back to those communities. Especially now, you know.
Oh, Cindy got a question.
She got a hand raised. I mean, she really got a question. Go ahead, friend.
I'm doing my best to.
Well, you're on mute, Cindy.
Oh, am I on mute?
But we can hear you. Go ahead and still ask your question, so that way
I'm doing my best to not interrupt when you guys are talking, so you know we can get to your full point. But I own a home in South Florida, in the neighborhood in which, you know, my family has been for 40 years, and I've traveled. I've moved to New York. I've lived in New York. I've traveled all over the country, all over the world. But I decided that where I wanted to purchase my first home would be in my neighborhood. Because it was affordable.
Yes.
I had a feeling that my neighborhood was going to get better because I had traveled and learned that, like, what is old becomes new again. And I wanted to be one of the people who were local to benefit from that. Now, I hear the point of, like, you know, gentrification is a necessary thing. And I believe that is, and it's a generational thing. And like you said, Sandra, people often move away. The next generation moves away and doesn't come back, and doesn't necessarily come in and pour back into the neighborhood. And then it gets dilapidated because those elders, they grow older and they become part of a fixed income, and then things start falling apart.
Yes.
So I do believe that it is part of a necessary cycle for things to happen. The other point that I wanted to touch base on was, who says that it's the government officials to take care of anything outside of, like, roads and street lamps and street lights? That's what they don't take care of. They let those things, and they allow neighborhoods to flood, and they don't take care of them. So I just want to ask TK, is that what you're meaning, like, as far as municipalities, or like watering your grass and making that look nice?
No, like beautifications. Like I've seen, like, I grew up in an area that Like, why can't we put in nice palm trees, make the landscaping better, things of that nature, or even that corner store that's been there forever? Let's bring some renovation and do some upkeeping and give him a new building. Like, why can't we put the money back instead of moving us out? Why can't we beautify it?
Where would that
I don't
money
know if I'm
come
saying the
from?
right words, but
My question is, where would that money come from?
And I get what TK
oh
saying.
well, here, ask Kay and Sandrell. Look,
I want to be real about
it.
Yes.
I don't know about this stuff.
Oh.
Wait,
I think TK got what I got.
Wait a minute.
Wait, did I freeze?
Yeah, you did.
Honey, you didn't freeze into a robot.
Uh-oh.
I think TK got what I got.
You can hear me, Cindy?
I can hear you.
Diva Bees, everyone, you know the weather is bad, so you have to excuse us.
Oh.
We're sorry for
Is it
the
frozen?
connection.
Difficulties.
Am I frozen? Because I see myself moving on my laptop.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you're
Is
frozen
it-
pretty badly.
It's just me and you, Cindy, right now. So
Right,
we'll just-
okay.
Okay, there it is. I think we're
So I
Go
actually
ahead,
want to
Cindy.
talk about making it real for people who, like TK has a question about making that, you know, who's responsible for
Yes.
the beautification? Who's responsible for those things?
Well, see, what I got from what TK was saying is, how do we help the people who live in those neighborhoods try to do better for themselves? You know what I mean? Or we're putting them out, but where are they going? You know what I mean? Like, where are they going and how are they going to live? I don't have the answer to that. That's what I'm assuming what she meant.
When you say like just that statement that he said,
Oh, this is horrible.
Was that Sandro?
Yes.
am I frozen?
I think
Yes,
you're
everybody
you're
is.
frozen.
I don't want to stop the live and start over, but it's really
I'm
bad.
gonna stop it.
Mm. And I'm crystal clear now.
Me too.
Or it was me.
Okay, am I clear?
Let me remove everyone and bring it back. Give us a minute, viewers. Well, I'm so sorry. These are things that we can't control. Seems that there's a connection going on somewhere, bad connection, and out of our control. Everyone is frozen. Oh my goodness. All right, so it's gonna be me and you
Hey,
tonight.
it's just me and you on this show.
Because I don't know what's going on.
It was getting good to me. It was getting
I
good
know, I
too.
know. Viewers, if y'all can still hear and see, at least me and Cindy, let us know. Talk to us in the comments because I honestly don't know what's going on. I can't see everyone else from the stream. So I took everyone out. Hopefully they log back out and come back in. And let's see what happens. Let's see. Kay is back. She's still frozen. Sandrell,
I'm here.
blink your eyes twice.
Oh, you know that doesn't work. I've been faking the funk since the beginning.
Oh my goodness.
You guys hear me?
Yes, they said we can only see the two of us.
That is so weird. Okay, I'm gonna remove them again until they come back. Okay, so what I believe TK was saying is, like how Wynwood is. And now Wynwood, people used to be afraid to go on that part of town. You know what I mean? Now it's a hot spot to hang out in. Now you still have the other part of Overtown that it's not being built up. You still have roofs caving in. You still have people hanging out on the corner. You still have buildings that are old and being torn down. What do you do? Are we going to ignore that side, or is it because that side's not making any money, we're going to leave them alone?
Well, there's a systematic like Sandrell and Kay were saying, there's a system around how that happens. And then you have urban renewal, which is basically what they call in the past Negro removal, where they create these obstacles to get the Negro population out of the way, so then they can build their own things for themselves. Now, this comes in the form of brand new buildings and coffee shops and florists and things like that. And this goes back to, having over 60 or 100 Black communities historically that have been completely obliterated over the last 150 years,
right,
because of racism. I literally just watched something today on Peacock by the writer Amber Ruffin. She has her own show, and talked about over 100 cities, Black communities that have literally been drowned, and lakes have been built on top of them.
Wow.
Yeah. 100, including one that of Central Park. So Central Park, there was a city called York Hill that they got all the Black people out, and they built a lake where all the ducks, they call it the boathouse, and they have a lake there, and all the ducks they swim there. And then also there was another village called Seneca Village in Central